So next is, remember this, the lid, right? I have two of them. This is 4 inches by 14 inches. Let me set this aside. Yeah, this is 14 inches, okay, by 4 inches. But this one, I wrote it here, is 3 and 15/16 of an inch. Don't mind this stain to be covered. So okay, so but I'm going to reduce this side. It's not up to 4 inches, okay, but I will have to reduce it because of the, okay, now sorry, I jumped one part. Sorry about that. Now this one, I didn't cover it completely because I need to fix the lid first. So I just covered it up to this point, and of course I'll lift this when I'm ready. But to just hold this in place like this, okay? The lid is going to go under here, okay? So then this will now cover it up and have a fine finished look, okay? So now for the inside, to measure the inside, place my ruler like so, and I have three and I'll call it 3 and 6/8 of an inch, but it's more than 3 and 6/8 of an inch. It's 3 and 13/16. Okay, 3 and 13, 3 inches and 13/16 of an inch. Okay, 13. Okay, so that is the width that I need, but I'll not make it because I'm still going to cover this with velvet, and velvet is quite thick to cover both sides. Okay, so it's better to just cut the width of this straw board. Okay, it's better for me to make it 3 and 6/8 of an inch. So I'm going to do that now. Setting this aside, so I will line this up and then mark at 3 and 6/8 of an inch. 3 and 6/8 of an inch. My ruler, this ruler is 12 inches. It's not long enough, so I need to bring in my long ruler. That's what I will use to cut this, because I'm cutting this off. Okay, so I align this on the 2 points that I made. Okay, line that up and then cut. Ouch. Okay, so I just cut my finger. I don't know if you can see this. This is my skin. Just cut my skin. My finger was too close to that. Thank God it didn't bring out blood. So please always be careful. Anyway, this is the cutting. You can see the line, so I'll just finish that up by just following that line. Man, I'm so grateful to God. Thank God I didn't cut my finger so deep. That would have been the end of this box. Like really, I would have stopped here for me to heal before I continue. I would have. Okay. Okay, so remaining this part. Let me use my ruler to line that. So please always be very careful with your fingers. All right, so this is what I'm throwing away. Now, that is for the way. So you can see the way this entered. But as it entered like so, it entered like exact fit, but it's not supposed to be exact fit. It's supposed to be smaller. Okay, supposed to be slightly smaller, but it's fine because it's not too bad anyway. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. Okay, so now next I have done here, so I'll line this up. Now on this side you can see this is well fitted here, and then on this side it's not fitted. It's more than the box, supposed to be inside. This is supposed to be inside this box. Okay, so I will bring my metal ruler. I need to be sure that this metal ruler is the same measurement. Okay, yes, it's the same measurement. Okay, all right, because there was one I got, it wasn't the same measurement, so I will measure inside it to know the length that I need. So the length that I need here, looking at this and then removing my measurement, it's 13 and 6/8 of an inch. So I will place my straw board on my cutting mat like so, and then bring my metal ruler to do the measurements. Place my metal ruler at 13 and 6/8. Like so. I don't need to use a buyer, I just need to cut straight like so. You can see how far I put my finger this time around, because any other cutting on my finger, blood will surely come out because the skin is like off, but it's not paining me anyway. So okay, all right, this is what I removed. Okay, so now if I put this inside here, it should be exact fit, but if I should release it, I'll not be able to bring it out easily. You can see it enter. So that's how I have to bring it out. Now next thing I have to do is to actually apply my double-sided tape. I don't need this small. This is how I usually keep the smaller ones. Okay, I'll just set this aside. I need the big one. Okay, I'll apply on one side like so. And trim that off. Okay, then the opposite side. Okay, this is exact. Covered it properly and totally. That's to tell you that this double-sided tape is not actually up to 2 inches. No, it's not up to 2 inches. It's about 1 7/8 of an inch. Okay, so I made a mistake here, but please don't pull this out. Instead, if you can get a gum to glue it down so it will be straight, because if you pull it out, it will bend. So I made a mistake there while I was cutting, but it's fine. Okay, so okay, so I'll crease this properly. Now I have already cut my velvet into 18 inches. It's not 18 inches, about 17 and half by 17 and half by 10 inches. Okay, but I will not finish this for this one. So what I will do is I will line it up like so that I can have about 1 inch down here and 1 inch on the side like so. Okay, so like that. So after lining it up like this, now you can either measure it, but I know that this is 1 inch already, and I know that this is 1 inch already. Okay, so you can measure it to for you to know where to place it properly. So now what I'll do is to peel peel the backing tape off. Okay, now make sure that this one is as flat as possible. Then at that 1 inch, I'm laying it down from this point first so that it doesn't grab onto everything in a rough way. Okay, like that, and then like so. So it's very flat and smooth. See, right? Very flat and smooth. All right, so let me crease that properly to remove any bubble under there. All right, so next I'll place my metal ruler and cut this excess one off. And repeat the same thing on this side. The metal ruler is about 1 1/8 of an inch, thereabouts. Uh, Maybe, I don't know, not sure. 20 is okay. It's 1 inch, but it's slightly more than 1 inch. I know it's slightly more than 1 inch anyway. So this is me just trying to cut that. So I can set this aside. Okay, so now we have this. Next thing I would do is to cut. I'll cut about 1/8 of an inch away from this point on all the four corners. Okay, like so. You can measure it if you like for it to be accurate, but this is what I know how to do already for a long time anyway. So okay, so if you are to measure it, let me see, at you place it on your cutting mat. It has grid for measures, you can see. Okay, so you won't place it like this because you can't see the numbers, it's covered. So you take it to the next part like this. Okay, so you can see these numbers here and here. Now this is 1 inch from here to here, 1 inch from here to here, 1 inch. Okay, so you can now place your metal ruler and then draw your pen like so, and then here as well, but this is properly lined up to here. Okay, and then draw anyhow somewhere has to get to the other point. Then you now cut across this cross here, where I don't know if you can see the cross, this middle point. You cut across that point with your scissors from any angle wherever you like this, as long as you cut in between that cross, you are good to go. All right, so now next is to now apply my double-sided tape on the edges round. Okay, so I will do the remaining part of camera in order to save time. Okay, and then I'll get back to you at that point. So I've applied the double-sided tape. Okay, so next thing I'll do is to now crease properly, like really proper, as if you're pushing the tape into the velvet. Okay, so you really you crease more than normal, like really crease. Okay, like so. Okay, so now I will bring my UHU and peel off the backing tape. You see, the backing tape doesn't come off easily because this is uh cloth, so you need to bend it to reveal the backing tape and to leave the tape there. Okay, all right, so next is to apply my UHU. Like so. Like so. And then pull this very well over. Okay, and then crease very properly. Oops. Okay, crease that, and the side as well. Now the opposite side as well. Like so, you can see the way I'm move any way you like. Okay, you can use a roller to roll the glue if you like. Whatever works for you is what you do. So I'll push that in properly so that there is no space here. Then crease that. Alright, so now for this part, I will, please watch closely. Okay, I will apply my glue inside here and then inside here. You need to pay attention to those corners. Okay, really need to pay. I hope my voice is clear. Oh. Sorry, I've not even been conscious of that, but I believe that it is. Okay, so now you can see what I did. I pinched inward. Okay, just need to cover like so. You can see, right? Okay, then lift this, pulling it very well over like so, and then you have this, and you crease properly. Okay, now the last part. Now let's try this. Yes, it's now it's stronger. Yeah, it's stronger, like it's really strong. You can see the way it's going stronger. Okay, all right, now let's finish up this last part. So so like so, and like so. Ah, before that, pinch this in first. You can see if I move my finger inward. Okay, don't just pinch and lift. You pinch and move inward to release your fingers, and then you pull this over, and then crease. Oh, sorry, crease this side, and then crease that. Now you can see the corners well covered. Okay, so now the next that we will do is to push this in, not pushing in, just set it on top of it. Okay, please don't push it in, if not you're not able to bring it out. Just set it like so, knowing that it's going to go in. Just leave it that way first. Now let's work on this. Just the way I covered this, okay, I will repeat the same thing and then I'll get back to you at the next stage. Okay, okay, so there's a part here. Okay, now remember that this one is wider than the first one. Okay, so now there's space in between the two double-sided tapes. So in between the tapes I applied my liquid glue, which is my UHU gum. Okay, all the way down. All right, so I'll finish that up and then I'll get back to you at the next stage. So this is where I am now. Now the next thing, as you can see that I only covered just one part of the four parts. Okay, because this also cover the side, okay, into the base. So now next thing I'm to do is to, I'll actually line this up. I had to fold this over first to see how it will be. If I should fold this over first, and then I'll have this sharp, this part like this, and then it's going to be too bulky. Okay, so I'm going to remove this part completely, but in a systematic way. So at about 1 inch away from the board, then I will cut all the way down like so. Okay, then turn that, and then at about 1/8 of an inch away, you can see the space. Okay, so it's 1/8 of an inch. Okay, then I will now cut from where I made that cutting. So this is out. So I will repeat the same thing on the opposite side. I'll line this up. Okay, make sure that your material is very flat and smooth. Then at about 1/8 of an inch away, and so my ruler moved. Thank God I saw it move first. You see the struggle, right? Okay, holding it in place as firm as possible at 1/8 of an inch away. Make sure my hand is not straight. Follow the ruler, please. You can see what happened. You can see what happened. My hand wasn't straight, but don't worry, I will sort it out. So I'll turn this, then at about 1/8 of an inch away from the board. Make sure that it's properly lined up like so. And I'll cut that, and this is out. Okay, so now I can now finish up covering this part. So I'll cover it like so, just the way I did the first one. Same way. Cut that. Then crease. And then of course inside here as well. And push this in, okay, for folding this over like so. Now you can see that this is about 1 inch longer than the board. Okay, so you push this in here. Remember there is glue there already. Okay, then this turn down like so to cover it. Okay, so I will repeat the same I did on this side, on this other side, and then I'll get back to you in order to save time. Okay. Okay, so I need to explain this properly because I'm not sure I did in that other part. So this is what I did. You can see about 1/8 of an inch here. Okay, so from this angle here, you push in onto the board. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, push in into the board like so. Okay, and then line this down. You now fold this over like so because there is glue on it already, so it's staying properly. So you can see both sides well covered. Okay, all right, so now the next thing we are to do is to now bring this in. So remember I said we just need to straighten this. Just fix this in at the top, don't let it enter. Okay, don't let this thing is entering, but just take your time like so. Then this will now be on top of it. Okay, so now before that, let's apply our glue. So I'll be using this because this one comes out faster. On this, on the edge, all round. Okay, but don't let it go out too much. Okay, I think it's better for me to come like this. Okay, then this thing, as I'm applying it, it's going in because I'm trying to use my finger to hold it so it doesn't go in. Oops, sorry about that. My hand hits the phone stand. Okay, as much as possible because you need this to be very strong. Okay, okay, now I'm trying to stop this from flowing. All right, there. Whoa. Okay, so this has obviously it has gone in there, so I will place this on top like that. Okay, then bring this, I'll line this up with the main body of the box. This one is obviously smaller. Okay, so I'll line this with the main body of the box like so, starting from this side and this side. Just press a little so I can hold on to, yes, that, like so. So I cannot leave this and then remove this, then walk around it. So I'm going to leave this to dry for a while. Okay, I will leave this to dry for a while and then I will come back to that. Please make sure that as you are lifting it, it didn't move, because if it should move, there'll be issue. Okay, so now this is what will make it self-closing. Okay, and this is, stronger, it's thicker. Okay, so I will leave this to dry excuse me, for a while. Okay, so now you remember that tiny strip, the tiny strip that I cut out when I was closing this part. We will need that tiny strip. Okay, yes, we're going to need it. Okay, so here is the tiny strip. Remember it, right? So now what I will do is I'll just place it here to measure, to cover this exposed part, okay, up to this point. So I'll cut off from here. This moved. Cut off from here. All right, so I'll bring my UHU gum once more and then apply them on that exposed part where we are gluing the strip. Okay. Okay, so I'll just do that. To cover that. All right. So there we are, covered. Yay! So while we're waiting for this to still dry, okay. Next is this part, this exposed part. Okay, you know it's two strips. We bring the second one and then apply my UHU gum like so. Okay, like so, just the exposed part alone. Then use this to cover that up. Like so. Trim that off. So you can see that everywhere is now fully and properly covered. Yay, I'm happy. I'm happy with the outcome. All right, so now let's finish up our box. So I will bring this. So this is not yet properly dried. Okay, I'm still feeling it. It's not properly dried. To take about 24 hours to dry. Okay, but there's no time to wait for that. So now you choose where you want to be, the front or the back. Well, for me, anywhere goes. So I can now place this on top here. So this, once it's fully dry, I can now push it in, okay, to cover that. So you can open, okay, self-closing. Push that in. Yeah, that is it. Okay, all right, nice. You can see it's well closed here. So now next thing that I will do, I will raise this properly, okay, because we need to make use of this part now. Wow, it's really strong, like really strong. Okay, up to the edge like that. Okay, set that aside. Now this one will now come over like so, like so. Okay, now this one, as I said, we'll work on it. Okay, so don't worry about this strip, don't cut it off. All right, so now for this I'll be using double-sided tape because my UHU, this will drink off my UHU, so it's better I just use this. So I'll line this up like so, okay, and then trim off there, and then also at the base. I like to work like this, seeing what I'm doing from the edge especially. So line that up like so. Okay. Okay, so next is to crease properly into that velvet. Okay, crease properly, like as much as you can. Then peel off the backing tape. Now you can see this space here, right? So of course UHU will do the trick, and then also this edge here. That edge, and then here. And this edge. Alright, so now I can now fold this over as straight as possible. Okay. Oh, it's not straight. It is not straight. It's not straight. It is not. I have to turn it this way and then cover this part properly, like so. Yes, now that you can now line that up like so. Good. Now that is straight. So now I can now crease properly. Okay. Now let's come back to this one. So this, you can see the glue is still oozing out from here. So I'll just press that down. Okay. And then just apply little glue here for that to have a hold on. That is it. Glued down. Oh, I don't know what happened. It didn't cut. Well, it's okay. It's all right. So like that, there it is. So now this, I will lie this down and apply my double-sided tape. I can't apply because it's too short for my finger, kind of. So I'll just raise that and then bend it towards me so I can see what I'm doing properly. Okay, like so, like so, like so. Okay, I'm bringing more tape, like so, to the end. Then trim that off. Okay, so I just fold this so I can crease it that way, or you lie down and crease properly. Crease very well. It is not paper, it is velvet, it's cloth. Okay, so you need to really crease. This is me looking for where to peel that from. All right, so now I'm not going to fold that because there's space. I don't know if you can see the space. Okay, so I'll just apply my UHU gum on that space like that. So now I can now fold over. You can see the way I'm pressing it in. Okay, pressing it over like so. Okay, then crease. Okay, all right, so now for this, if I should use my UHU gum all round, it will be too bulky, so I don't want that. So I will use my double-sided tape for that. Okay, so here is my double-sided tape. I'll apply, leaving a little space for UHU gum on the edge. Okay, and then get here and stop, leaving space for UHU. UHU will give it a final hold. You can see the small space I left here and here. Okay, so now the other side as well, like so, like so, and then trim. Okay, then I will now crease that properly. This center part is holding on to the board already. Okay, so no issues. Just crease that. Okay, you can see the lid. All right, everything is looking like one prison. Okay, so peel this off and then lay that excess on top of it, and then to be easy for it to peel this. All right, so next I will apply my UHU on those edges like so. Like so, and there as well, then here as well. To the end. All right, so now I can now bring this, but when I'm going to lie it down to be systematic, I see where I folded it over, okay, so that I am sure that yes, it's fully covered, not doing everything at once, but gently and gradually. Okay, so I'll stretch this out like so, pulling it, then lie that down, and it's fully covered all around. So now I can now crease properly, and finally our box is ready. Okay, crease properly. But one thing about double-sided tape is that it's magical, really. It holds onto something very quickly and very firmly. I just like to use UHU as a, stronger hold. So now from this you can tell where is the front, where is the back. So this is the back and this is the front. So you open like so. You can see how beautiful that is. Okay, of course can go down because it's clothes, and then nothing like, oh, maybe this part after some time wear and tear of opening and closing, flipping, it's clothes. Okay, so to stand the test of time, and you can see everywhere is properly covered. So we have finally come to the end of this box. Okay, so now let me put this is what we made it for, the tripod stand, in there. You can see how well fitted it is. Just close that, just press, and that is it, closed, properly closed all around. You can see that, right? It's properly closed. All right, so thank you guys for watching. I'm so sorry for the delay in finishing up this box. Okay, so thank you guys, and of course you can always design it whichever way you like. Okay, so but for me, I think I'll just I'd like to add embellishment, just something, like this here to let me know, okay, this is just to give it a little touch so it doesn't look too plain. Of course, this UHU will hold this down for me like that. Just press that down, and that is it. All right, so it's as simple as that. So thank you guys, and see you again. And also, please remember to subscribe to my channel and tap that bell button so you get notifications of when I upload new tutorials. Okay, I'll always upload new tutorials. Okay, now something that you need to know, this is my first time of making this box. I've not made a box like this before. Like, I just, as I was teaching, as I was, as I was explaining, I was getting it. The idea was coming to my head. Okay, this is the next thing to do. This is the next thing to do. Okay, so it's not as if I've done this severally. That's why you could see that all the mistakes and all, I included them. I don't edit my videos to cut off anything at all. No, I don't do that. So this is it. So now you can try your own and let me know how it is, and anywhere you need assistance, I am always available to be of help. All right, thank you guys, and see you in my next tutorial.